Invite you to join us once again if you've been here for previous episodes, and for the first time if you're new to this, in experiencing our shared enactment of E.J. Gould's uniquely curious play about the afterlife called Norton Street. And voyage with us by occupying your own seat in the Magic Theater, where we'll all participate in an unusual invocation and experiential exploration of all sorts of useful attitudes about relating to eternity, including some fantastic suggestions with respect to tolerating and maybe even learning to actively enjoy it in our own inevitable afterlives. And perhaps if we pay real close attention, we may be pleasantly surprised to discover how all this might prove tremendously beneficial in down-to-earth practical ways in the lives we are currently occupying. Please note that just as in real life, the roles and the characters who inhabit them are constantly changing. We would offer you a magic play-by-play scorecard of who's who, but we're leaving that for Abbott and Costello at some other time, because right now they're still arguing about just who's playing what position. We deeply appreciate, are honored by, and thank you for your attentive presence here. And once again, warmly welcome and invite you to join us on the journey. Please fasten your seatbelts, metaphorical or otherwise, activate your home direction finders, and enjoy the show. Because, especially because after all is said and done, you may become aware that one of the real inside secrets here is that it's ultimately and specifically all about only you.
Norton Street, a play by E.J. Gould. Act 1, Scene 7. Lights up.
It's still the same time. Nothing has changed. How long was I gone?
I don't know what you mean by the question. How long was I gone?
How long was I inside that book-shaped universe?
How long did it seem to you?
Standing here with that book in my hand, I just sort of fell into some sort of dream. It couldn't have been more than just a few seconds, a minute at most. But a moment ago, when I was living inside that thing, I'd have given any odds that I knew the difference between 1,000 years and a single second. At the moment, I can't make that claim. How long was I gone?
A few seconds, maybe a minute at most, as you said.
That's what I thought. And to me, it felt like a whole lifetime. This can't be real. I need a world around me to make me feel comfortable. I'm going to go back inside that thing.
What thing?
That book, or anything. I just pick up something at random, and next thing I know, I'm inside it, living a lifetime. Then, just as suddenly, here I am again. Same room, same day, forever.
Take a look at the title of that book in your hand.
Okay. It says, read me.
Pick up another book at random. Notice the binding? Is it the same as or different from the first?
It's different. The binding is different.
And the number of pages, would you say they're the same or different?
Different. Very different. One's much fatter than the other.
Now, look at the title.
So they both have the same title. So what? Big deal.
What do you mean, so what? How do you account for that?
Coincidence. Lots of books have the same title.
Yes, but the same author?
It's just coincidence. If I pick up a third book,
Without looking at the title, open it at random. Now, take any other book in the bookshelf and open it to a random page.
how can all the books be exactly the same but look different? And be different sizes, colors, and shapes? Each page says exactly the same thing, over and over again.
Where do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
I don't know. There's no time to think.
What do you want to think about?
What to do about all this? How to get out of here? How to have a real life somewhere other than here?
You don't have to do anything or go anywhere. You can just be here.
I wish I could just be here.
What's bothering you?
Nothing I can actually put my finger on.
I'd think twice before putting my finger on anything around here if I were you, unless you want a lesson in microhistory inside some tiny little universe shaped like a book or a bar of soap. I certainly wouldn't stuff a sandwich into my mouth at this level of creation.
I'm feeling very agitated. I think I'm having an anxiety attack. I can't seem to relax or even sit down.
Oh, that's not necessarily an anxiety attack. All it means is that you can't sit down right now. Are you going to start pacing again?
I guess so. You know, when I get anxious, I pace back and forth.
Why not just sit down quietly and struggle silently and invisibly with your anxiety?
Why would I do that?
You're right. I think I'll pace back and forth with you. Now I'm getting agitated, just like you seem to be.
You know what I know right now?
Yes, I know exactly what you know right now.
That means you are me, and I am you, and so are we together.
I thought I detected some 60s acid rock group lyrics passing through just then.
Oh no, not this again.
What's wrong now?
You know very well what's wrong now. The same thing that's always wrong now. Nothing is real.
Nothing to get hung about. And what exactly do you mean by the word real?
Bornless. Soliloquy. Downstage.
Well, is this Norton Street apartment really all there is? Or are there other spaces like this? And if there are other realities or dimensions or creations on this level, are they bigger, smaller, the same size as this one? Are there different chambers? Do they look the same? Do they look different? Where exactly are they if they exist at all? Is there anyone out there? I'm waiting for a knock at the door any moment now, yet I know very well there's nothing really out there. I know that my impression of being inside this Norton Street flat is just me inside myself. I had nothing with which to make the world. Out of myself, the world was made. I know that very well, all too well. I can't seem to forget it no matter how hard I try. When I look at these walls, I feel like I'm looking at my own rib cage. And I wonder, if this is the rib cage, how do you get to the stomach, the abdomen, the feet? And how can I possibly get to the head?
Why on heaven or earth would you want to get to the head? This is the only thing that ever really happens.
I knew you were going to say that.
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 1. Lights up. Bornless. Downstage. head hanging down.
I'm feeling sick. I think I'm going to throw up. My belly feels swollen. Everything is swollen. I feel like a sausage that's about to explode.
Why don't you go ahead and throw up? It might make you feel better.
But I don't want to throw up.
What's wrong with throwing up?
You know what happens when I throw up?
It's not such a big deal.
No, it's no big deal to you because it doesn't happen to you. You don't have to go through the process of starbarf the way I do. You don't have to turn yourself inside out, rip yourself a new asshole where your mouth used to be. It's obvious to me that you aren't bothered by being turned inside out and throwing up endless galaxies of starbarf.
No, I don't mind being turned inside out. Morphing doesn't bother me the way it seems to make you squirm. Can't you just keep calm until the spasm is over?
No, I can't. Oh no, not this again.
What's wrong now?
It's happening again. Everything is tingling. Everything is blending. Everything is everything else. It's all one. The room is empty. It's an empty room. No, I'm an empty room. We don't exist. There is no me, no you.
Of course there is no you, just as there is no me.
Fine, I understand that. But that doesn't stop the deep, gnawing sensation of icy, empty, endless, cold voidness. There really is so little to give me stability. Just a few things to keep me in balance. Nothing actually exists. But I seem to see before me two teddy bears, a Captain Walrus, an iPod and an iPad, a desktop game developer computer, some CDs, and a pile of DVDs.
Those aren't the only objects in Norton Street.
No, there are other items, but what does it all mean? For instance, all those dresses in the closet. And why aren't there any men's clothes?
A lot of women look exactly like you. You'd be surprised how many heavy-set, partly bald women wear badly fitted dresses and acrylic wigs.
Damn it, look at this beard. No matter how closely I shave, there's always this blue shadow across my face.
That's not your beard. It's a permanent part of that 3D model skin. Where did you get the iPad?
I bought the iPad on Amazon. They offer free shipping.
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 1, Scene 2. Lights up.
See that copy of Life magazine over there?
Yes, I've often wondered why just the May 26, 1969 issue of Life. Why that issue and no other?
It's not just Life. All the magazines carry the same publication date.
I know there were other issues of Life magazine. Even if I hadn't ever been on Earth, I could easily deduce from the volume and issue number how many years it's been in print. So, why only this issue? What has it got that the others don't? And how come no Shakespeare, no Mark Twain? Why didn't the books I really like make it up here into the higher dimensions?
Bornless, indicating the bookshelf with a wave of the hand.
This is supposedly the Akashic Library. So how come it only has one Life magazine in the magazine rack?
Open it to a random page.
It says, I'm going to count to 3, and at the count of 3, I'm going to clap my hands. When I clap my hands, you will awaken in the real world, feeling fine and full of energy.
Is that all it says?
No, it goes on to say 1, 2, 3, hand clap, wide awake and feeling fine.
Is that it?
Yes. Well, it seems to have worked. I am wide awake and feeling fine.
Now pick up any other magazine at random.
Okay. Here's a copy of Playboy.
Look at the centerfold.
Bornless turns magazine sideways to see centerfold.
Same thing, exactly the same.
And the copy of Cosmo?
The one with the naked girl on the cover?
Yes.
Didn't that used to be targeted towards teenagers?
It still is.
Gosh, that cover's as close to porn as you can get and still have it on a magazine rack.
Okay. Open the Cosmo magazine to a random page.
Same thing, advertisement for the waking state.
Now, check out your iPad over there. Go to YouTube, any channel.
All the channels feature the waking state videos.
Of course.
Oh, that means there will be a lot of newly freed spirits coming up here real soon.
I'll set the table for company.
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 3. Lights up.
All I'm saying is unwanted facial hair doesn't prove anything.
Okay, Mike. Then how do you account for all those women's dresses? Cosmetics, lingerie, perfumes, garter belts, high heel shoes, and the blonde wigs in the hall closet.
Hell, I can easily account for those without having to dream up some biped female on a planet full of hairless apes.
Yes, I can too. That's one of the things that scares me about this place. You can dream up anything, and at least for a while, it becomes real. The question is, which one of us wears the wig?
And what makes you think just one of us does it? Why can't both or either of us do it?
But why would we want to wear a wig up here in Norton Street?
Because we have a wig in a closet, that's why. Don't we have plush toy teddy bears and Captain Walrus? Don't we have an iPod and an iPad? Don't we have a TV and a machinima game writing computer to make worlds for you to hide in for as long as you want to avoid confronting the real world?
Bornless exits. Stage left. Speaks from off stage.
Oh no, not this again. It's happening again. I'm blacking out. Please, Mike, help me.
Help you what?
I'm constipated, about to explode. Like a volcano. Throw up my entire insides. I feel like I've got to let go, but I can't.
You're too much in your body again. Just upscale until you're in the here and now.
Where exactly is here? When exactly is now?
This here, this now.
Well, I can't detect a difference between the two spaces, Mike.
Get back the exact feeling and sensation that you had when you discovered that the universe was just a bathroom, and that the stars were barfed, and that the outer limits of the universe was a ceramic toilet bowl, and that God is stuck alone forever in a bathroom.
Bornless. Enters from left, now wearing a blonde wig.
Do you know what I know right now? This can't be real. This can't be happening. Every time I die, I end up here. Why does it always have to be my trip? Why am I always the one? I don't want to be stuck in this stupid little apartment. I don't want this to be all and everything.
It's not a bad little setup for the highest level of creation, O Bornless One, after all, considering the limitations you had to work under. You had nothing but yourself with which to make the world.
Yes, I know. But I had always viewed the creation as some sort of enormous, endless expanse of darkness, space, planets, stars, galaxies, not just a couple of rented rooms, Levitt's room group and some Sears appliances. Oh, I think I'm going to pass out again.
Hold on to that sensation and add 1 cup of dismay, 1 cup of irony, and 2 cups of hopeless despair.
Bornless. Takes off wig, puts it into desk drawer, slams drawer shut.
I wonder what the great mother is doing in the guest's bedroom.
The usual. Reading Gothic novels and giggling at the horrible, bloody, graphic 11 o'clock war news footage on the TV.
Blackout. Act 2. Scene 4. Lights up.
I can't believe how exhausted I am. I have to rest. I can't catch my breath. I can't breathe. The walls seem to have no trouble breathing, but I myself can't seem to catch my breath.
Bornless. Sits on desk chair. Mic. Perching on desktop.
That's all perfectly normal. You don't actually need to breathe. There's no air up here in the absolute anyway. It's all empty space. You're too much in the body. You don't have an organic body, but you're acting as if you're in some sort of biped living organism, some sort of earthen life form or something.
Bornless. Gets up and starts to pace again.
When did this all start? When will it end? Will we ever get out of here? Where do we go from here? How do we get there? What am I supposed to do now? Please help me. You're just sitting there calm and clear, and I'm in deep, horrible trouble.
I don't know what you mean. I'm in just as much trouble as you're in.
I need some rest. I can't go on anymore. It's going on and on. It will never stop. When is it my turn to rest?
Look around. Do you see anybody resting? Whose turn do you think it is now?
Someone has got to be maintaining all this. It can't be maintaining itself. Who's doing it?
You are.
Then how come I don't always know that I'm doing all this?
Because sometimes you just can't deal with it and you black out.
How long have I been here? How long have you been here?
Since early this morning. But it's always the same day.
And it's always the same room.
So, what do you want to do now?
I don't know. What is there to do?
You can do anything you want.
What are the options?
The options are as infinite as you are, Bornless.
Everything is filled with stars. Why didn't I know that about this before?
You did know. You've always known.
Why is it such a surprise every time I die?
Because that's the way you've always wanted it. And that's the way you always want it again.
Blackout. Act 2. Scene 5. Lights up.
Try putting that book down and pick up that hand-blown glass Klein bottle paperweight on the desk.
Bornless. Puts down book. Picks up Klein bottle.
Okay. By the way, I noticed that all the books say read me, all the podcasts say listen to me, and all the videos say watch me, all the foods says eat me, and all the liquids say drink me.
Of course they do. They want you to occupy them, to get inside them. In short, they want you to possess them for 70 or 80 of their years, to give them a sense of livingness they can't get as flatties. Okay, now touch the Klein bottle to your forehead. What do you see?
Black space and stars. But what is it? What's it for?
It's a universe. Everything in this place is a universe all its own. If you wrote a big equation to express what that little universe you're holding was all about, what it contained down to every little grain, and what had occurred there down to every little microsecond, and put an equal sign at the right of that equation, a glass Klein bottle paperweight would be your answer.
Bornless. Replacing Klein bottle on desk.
But a thing like this on such a scale, how could it be so simple? It can't all boil down to a couple of dozen universes expressed as books, videos, candles, hippie cloth, shade hanging lamps, a very disappointing library with the same book over and over with different color covers, slightly different thicknesses, but all saying the borderless thing.
Then there are the fancy dresses and the cosmetics in the bathroom. A couple of very cute plush toy teddy bears, Captain Walrus, a couple of nice speakers with a heavy-duty bass reflex cabinet, a box of Kleenex, a wagging tail and eyeballs cat clock, some sexy lingerie, and a few dozen blonde wigs.
That's what I mean. How can a wig be a universe?
It isn't a universe. It's the equivalency of a universe, expressed as an object in matrix, a 3D model of the thing which requires an entire universe to manifest itself here in the absolute. What's more, each universe manifesting as an object here is in fact the same universe expressed differently according to spatial coordinates.
So what you're saying is that everything is everything else, that it's all connected, all one thing, and that there's no me, no you, no nothing, just a figment of imagination, that this is all there is.
This is as high as the elevator goes.
Bornless. In a tense tone.
Let me try to assess this calmly. What you're saying is that somehow I have found myself in the class of all classes, that class which contains all lesser classes of existence, and that all lower orders of dimension exist here in this macro dimension as a variety of objects, and not just any objects. Nothing strange, nothing peculiar, no misshapen glowing hulk of contorted, twisted, gnarly lucite from some 50s science fiction film, no lumpy, hairy, protruding mass with eyes and teeth, babbling some strangled dialogue in a pseudo-Frank Oz voice like something out of every Spielberg, Lucas, and Henson movie made in the 20th century Earth.
That's a slightly more complex description than I'd have chosen to express the idea. But yes, in a word, you are the one. You are the absolute. You are the creator, maker of visions in the void, etc., etc., etc.
You mean I'm you know who?
Yes, you're you know who.
I made it work this way, didn't I? I did this to myself.
There's no one else to do it to you, O bornless one. Tag, you're it.
Blackout.
Come with me, coming to Norton Street, coming to Norton Street, where we'll be at our feet, and we can't get eat here on Norton Street. Norton Street, here we can't get eat on Norton Street.